Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. If you've been trying to lose belly fat and you just notice that no matter what diet you try, no matter how much cardio you do, no matter how much working out you do, you can't make it stick, meaning you can't lose the belly fat and keep it off. In this podcast, I'm going to share with you one of my secret strategies, man. I know a couple of my clients might be a little mad at me for sharing this game with y'all today. But, every now and then I'd like to go over and beyond for y'all, man. Because some of y'all really been supporting your boy over the years, as we've been growing this podcast and growing the movement. And so I want to give y'all some sauce, all right? Most trainers, they either don't know about this, they don't want to tell you about it. What I see most times on social media, a lot of trainers, they're giving away, the workouts. Oh, do this 6-pack ab workout. Do this double backflip squat workout. Do the squats on the Bosu ball workout. But guys, they know nutrition is 80% of what it takes to lose belly fat. They know it. Well, not all of them. Some of them, they wouldn't have got a weekend certification, so they really don't know. Okay. And so, but there are some who do, but they're withholding the information. And for a certain amount of time, I withheld the information for good reason. I have coaching clients paying me big money for this information. But today, I'm a bless y'all with some of this sauce because it took me years to learn these things. I was one of those folks, I used to look at Men's Health magazine, look at bodybuilder.com, see all them guys all ripped and cut up. Now, granted, some of these folks was taking, well, they probably still do, take steroids and taking enhancements. But I was under the impression it was something that they weren't telling me. Like, I don't know why. I was just like, I'm like, man, they know something that I don't know, but they not telling me. I'm about to tell y'all what it is. Because the big dogs, the gurus, they know. Oh, yes, they know. There's certain fitness professionals that I used to aspire to be like, and I used to look at them, and they used to have just dramatic transformations with their clients. And I'm like, how is this even possible, man? How are they able to eat foods they enjoy and still? No, man, y'all lying. That's what I used to think. But it wasn't until I started educating myself, like really, really educating myself. For y'all who don't know, I went to Georgia State University. I studied exercise science and nutrition. So I did the book smart side of things, but also did bodybuilding. And so for some of y'all who are watching on the Instagram podcast right now, me doing it live, y'all see one of my trophies right here. And stepped on stage, did a couple of bodybuilding shows. And so I learned how to get my body extremely ripped. But it wasn't until I started doing research, like just reading more books on nutrition, exercise, is when I stumbled across this strategy. So I'm getting ready to share with y'all. Oh, man. Y'all should be paying for this. Anyway, I'm about to go ahead and break it down. So the strategy is this. Energy cycling. Okay? Energy cycling. If you've ever seen somebody who says, and y'all may hear me say this, man, you can still enjoy it. You can still lose weight and be ripped up while enjoying the foods that you like eating. This is what I do. And I'm pretty sure y'all have heard other people say this too. Here's how it works. Most people, they just think about being mindful with their eating habits. Oh, I'm just going to cut out the sugar. I'm going to cut out the alcohol. I'm going to cut out the Simply lemonade, the sweet teas, the sodas. And if you're morbidly obese, yes, you might drop some weight because just cutting back on them liquid calories, you go drop some weight. But for some people, they still don't see no weight loss because they're not eating the proper portions of healthy food. See, guys, you can overeat on healthy food. Okay. And so you got to make sure your energy, meaning your calories, are dialed in for you to start losing weight. That's your overall, how much, whether it's 1,500, 2,000, whatever it is, you got to know your daily calorie intake to start leaning out. Most folks start to realize this, but they're just not doing it, or they don't know how to do it the right way. But once you get this part dialed in, now you're going to start leaning out, because not only are you eating mindfully, you know your portions, your calorie intake. Now we're going to take this thing a step further, because when most people join my coaching program, I show them what to eat. I show them how much to eat, but I'm also telling them, here's how much protein you need to eat. Because you have two people, guys. You have one person who just focuses on calorie intake, the other person who focuses on calories and protein. Person number 2 is going to burn more fat. Person number 2 is going to burn more fat. They're going to maintain more muscle. Person number 1, they can lose weight, but they're going to look skinny fat. They're not going to be happy with how their clothes fit. They're not going to be happy with how they look when they take their clothes off. Okay? If you're like me, you want to look good in your clothes and when you take your clothes off. What's the point of working so hard and building all this money and wealth and all this success if you can't enjoy it? If you don't feel happy about how your body looks? Guys, that is a significant part of life. Being able to wake up and have energy. Being able to wake up, look in the bathroom mirror and feel proud about what you see. That's a huge part of our life. It can affect our mental health. You're not happy with how you're looking, now you're in low vibration. Imagine waking up, getting out the bed, looking in the bathroom mirror, and you're like, woo, boy, I know life a little stressful right now, but I tell you one thing that's not. Your boy is applying pressure with this body. What it need to be like. But anyway, here's the thing. You got to make sure you know your calorie intake, your protein intake. Okay? Now, once we understand these two things, you don't even have to know all your macros. You don't have to know your fats. You don't have to know your carbs. You don't even really have to know all those things. It's cool, but it can be very overwhelming. You need to know the main two, calories and protein. Okay? Now we're about to get into the strategy, because I had to help you guys had to understand these things before we get to the main thing. Okay? Otherwise, it ain't gonna work. So you wanna once you build out your plan, all right, because obviously I do this for my clients, but let's say you're building out your own, you're Frankensteining your own thing together. You know your calorie intake, you know your daily protein intake. Let's say 40% of your overall calorie intake is protein, that's typical, that's fine. And the other 60% is fats and carbs. Okay. Now guys, listen, carbs are not bad. Vegetables are carbs. Fruits are carbs. Potatoes are carbs. Rice, oatmeal, all these things are carbs. Okay. Now the issue is certain carbs, which I call starchy carbs, are more dense with calories. I'm talking about things like going to Subway, getting you a foot-long Subway sandwich. It doesn't mean it's not healthy. Okay. It doesn't mean that it's a bad food, but it's way more dense with calories, and you can eat 1,000+ calories in just that one little foot long or one little 6-inch. And so, a lot of people don't realize that even chips, it's not that they're bad. Of course, it can be healthier, but it's just dense with calories. For that small little bitty bag, there's so many calories in there. Okay. And so what we're going to do is this: 1 to 2 days out the week, you're going to keep your protein where it is. You're going to eat fruits and vegetables on a daily basis, and even like healthy fats like avocados and walnuts, cashews. But 2 days out the week, you're going to also have potatoes, rice, oatmeal, things like that. Okay? Because these types of foods, dense with calories. And so on those 2 days, your calorie intake is going to be much higher. In other words, some fitness professionals may call this the refeed day. Okay? Because what a lot of people do, they'll do these super low calorie diets. They won't eat any carbs and they burn out. They don't have any energy. They can't perform in the gym. Their libido starts dropping because they're not having like refeed days. Okay. This is how we're using starchy carbs as a way to boost your energy. It's kind of like, if you ever was like a Cub Scout, like I used to be when I was a little kid, man, I can't even believe I still remember this. Let's say the campfire is starting to dwindle out. What do you do after a while when the campfire is starting to dwindle out? You throw some wood in there. What happens? The campfires, it grow again, right? And so you could do the same thing with your metabolism. Because if you're just dieting really, really hard on a strict diet, no carbs, no sugar, none of those things, yes, you go drop weight, but you're going to feel terrible. You're going to be like, man, I'm exhausted, not just physically, but mentally. And so this is why it's important to have those 1 to 2 refeed days where you bump up to start your carbs. But those other 5 to 6 days is protein. You're still eating the same amount of protein, right? You're eating healthy fats, and you're still eating carbs because fruits and vegetables are carbs. You're just not eating as much starchy carbs, okay? And so this is, and based on your willpower, you can do one of these, high carb days a week. And, if you want to do it more moderately or passively, you can do two refeed days a week where you bump up your starchy carbs. And 1 or 2 meals you eat potatoes, rice, oatmeal with the protein that you normally eat and with the vegetables or fruit that you normally eat. Okay? Guys, when I tell you, when I learned this, I knew I hit the jackpot. I knew it because I had already been trained doing in-person training, but I would get my clients results, but I couldn't get them like dramatic, like, whoa, this person looked like a whole different person type of results. When I learned this, game changer. And at the same point, I was doing in person, but I started kind of like already thinking to myself, I wanted to go into coaching and help people all over the country. And there was this one guy on Facebook back when I used to be on Facebook a lot, named John Thomas. Reached out to me, talking about how he was frustrated, just tired of just trying different diets, workouts, and all that kind of stuff. Couldn't really drop the weight that he wanted to. And I could just sense his like frustration. And so I was like, man, this is the opportunity right here. This guy, he's heavy. He really needs to drop a good 50, 60 pounds. And let me put him on the plan. And so John worked with me 4 months, dropped 48 pounds in 4 months, guys. With this strategy that I'm sharing with y'all right now, I knew at that point it was game over. I knew I had the strategies to be able to help my clients not just lose weight, but like life-changing weight. Because, guys, imagine 6 months from now, you're down 50 pounds. How much more energy are you going to have? How much more confidence are you going to show up in your personal life and even in your professional life? How much energy are you going to have physically and mentally? A lot of times what I've noticed, even with my coaching clients, they tend to see more opportunities when they lose that weight. They're like, man, I want to start a little business on the side. Man, I got a little bit more energy, man. I'm going to really try to excel now, And so just think about how it's going to impact your life. How are your family and your coworkers going to view you? Are they going to be more inspired? Are they going to admire you more? Are they going to respect you more? Admire you? Whatever it is, it's life-changing. These are just strategies that get you the life that you want, okay? But if you do this strategy, it doesn't mean that you have to do this year-round all the time. Like there's certain seasons in my life where I do this, and there's certain seasons in my life where it's just kind of like smooth and kosher. But if you want to drop weight and get rid of belly fat quickly, I'm talking about dropping 40, 50, 60 pounds in 6 months. Guys, do this strategy right here, okay? And if you're not quite certain on how to do it the right way, just get a professional to help you. Whether it's myself or somebody else, obviously, I'm telling y'all about it, but it don't have to be me. But if you use a strategy like this, it can have a dramatic impact on your weight, your appearance, your image. Like, guys, status, a lot of people, who are high achievers, busy business professionals, they tend to try to look at they try to get the cars, they try to get the fancy watches, the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 purses, things like that as a form of status. Guys, your image gives you status because people know you can't be lazy to look good. They know you put in work. They know you discipline. They know you view yourself differently, because if you didn't, you'd be okay just being overweight. It takes somebody to feel like, man, is more to it than just this right here. Like it takes somebody that's like, man, I want better. Like life is good, but I want to get to that next level. I want to see what it's going to be like with my body all the way on point. How would this impact my family? How would this impact my career? When you start looking at it that way, people can feel it. Not only do they see it, they can feel you glowing. They feel your vibration. I remember I heard an interview. Somebody was talking, I think it was Charles Barkley talking about Michael Jordan, and people would be like, man, when Michael Jordan stepped on the court, he looked like he is glowing. That's what happens when you know you done put in the work on yourself. Like, you don't have to be Michael Jordan to have that glow. But when you put in the work on you help, you're taking care of the people you love and care about, but you putting in work on yourself. You're eating the right way. You're exercising. You're showing up on time. You're prioritizing your health. You're making sure you're getting sleep. You're drinking water. God, this is how you glow. This is how you glow to the point where everybody around you just start to feel more motivated and inspired just listening to you, being around you. And you're just like, man, how did I become so popular? That's what happens, guys. Your status, because you improved yourself. All right. But anyway, this is the strategy that you can use to get your life to that point. Other than that, we out of here. Let's get it. All right, guys. Hopefully y'all found this helpful. Comment the word list below if y'all want the free list of foods that you can eat to use with this strategy to drop your next 30, 40, 50 plus pounds. All right. And if you would like personal help from me, well, I designed a plan for you step by step so you don't have to guess about these things. I remove all the guesswork. DM me, inbox me the word coach, and I'll reach out. All right. Other than that, guys, I got to head out. I don't want them to pull up and say they're delivering my food and they like, hey, you didn't respond to my text. And so they left, end up giving my food to somebody else. I can't have that. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all on the next one. Let's get it. Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.